like reflecting on everything, and it sucks. It totally sucks. Being confronted with your emotions and like having to admit that you not only loved someone years ago, but never really stopped loving them. You just kind of walked away from it because that was what was needed at the time. And I didn't ever stop loving him. I did hold space. I held space for him all of these years. And I never really let go of that. I just kind of held that space. And I did move on with my life and had other relationships and whatnot. But it was just like, I was in love with him, and I still am in love with him. And I've never really truly dealt with it because it was like all those years ago. I was confronted with it and asked to deal with your emotions, Rachel, and confront how you feel and rise to the occasion. And I knew the moment that I was going to, the moment that I did, I knew he was going to run away. And I said it. I didn't want to deal with that. And the moment that I did rise to the occasion, that's exactly what happened. He did. He just like bailed. Harsh in the way that he did it too. It was cold, and it was malice, and it was mean, and it was just so just cut and dry, and it was just like awesome. Like, is there a particular reason I needed, would you just need me to hear me say it? Like, what the fuck? And I did. I walked away from it because that's what I had to do, and I left. It was way too painful to look at, and it hurt, and it just felt so cold. And then coming back now, all these years later, and being confronted with it again and being like, let's clear the air. And then having him confront these emotions once again and tell me that he feels all of these things that he clearly doesn't feel. And then get me to open that back up. And ask me to open that back up and to actually admit that I hold that space for him, to have him do that, and then just totally fucking like, I don't even know, it's just, I trip out on it because it's just like, it looks so different now. Because, I mean, every girl wants to believe that she's different or that she's special or whatever, and I guess that is normal. But I really did believe that there was a real connection there. I really did believe that we had a human connection, and that we did actually share space together, and that connection was real. I really did. As silly and stupid as that sounds. And I know that he's a total fucking mess, and I know that he's a total fucking whore. And I knew that, when I met him. But what I didn't know, and what I didn't think, and I didn't realize till now, was I could have been anybody. There was no difference between me and any of those other women. None. The connection that I thought was real was no different. None, and it was foolish to think it was. And I think that's what hurts the most. Is that it was all bullshit. I was having a connection, and really I could have been anybody. And I'm sure the talk that we had, the words that were said, I'm almost positive I wasn't the only one that got that conversation or that talk. So it might have felt like for him that he put things right, but I have a feeling I wasn't the only one that he put it right to. And that hurts. Because it's not just like losing a lover or a love interest. It's like, I lost a friendship too. And I've put so much of my feelings aside for years, because it's not like I just like disappeared. I've been in and out of his life for years. And I've totally put my own bullshit aside Because it's always been about him. Always. It's always been about him, and it's always been about him being neurotic and the bad decisions that he makes and the situations that he gets himself into. And it's always been about him to him. He is the center of his own fucking universe. He's never bothered to stop and actually breathe and ask you how it affects you or how are you doing or let me check in. Ever. And I mean, if that's not a telltale sign, I don't know what is. It's just like looking back, there were so many red flags and there were so many signs. And I just wonder why the hell I even opened myself up or why I even believed. And I guess I was naive in a lot of ways. And I still don't know why I've held space for him for all these years. I'm still trying to figure that one out. It just feels like an open wound that never really truly healed. And I guess when you fall in love with someone and you give a piece of your heart to somebody, that never really does go away. Which is kind of shitty, to be honest. I mean, you can put a Band-Aid on it, and I mean, it calluses over for sure, but it never truly heals in that sense. It's like a broken bone. It does ossify, but it never works quite right. You know? I don't know. It's like all of these emotions are just like rushing over me, and it sucks. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And it was weird because like as he's telling me that he loves me, all I can hear him do is shut the door. That's it. That's what he's doing. He's shutting the window. It's like saying goodbye and like in the most fucked up way possible. Let me open up your emotions and at the same time slam the door in your face. And that's exactly what it felt like. And it's just shitty. It's shitty. I don't even know how I feel about it other than I feel hurt. And there's a little bit of anger. I'm a little bit frustrated about it. And I don't even know if it's anger so much as it is disappointment. And not disappointment that he didn't love me back, just disappointment that all of it, just I didn't realize I was just a number. Sometimes being a girl sucks. Because even if you are like really good friends with them, you're still just a girl. And when it comes down to that, it kind of sucks. Because as a woman, when you sleep with someone that you've become best friends with or somebody that you've become really close with, as a woman, when you sleep with them, it's never casual. I don't care what she says. It's never casual. I mean, you're changing the dynamic of your friendship. It's never a casual thing. There's obviously emotions there. There's obviously investment there because it's your friend. Why would you jeopardize that kind of a friendship or that dynamic? Because obviously there's emotions there. There's not only physical attraction, but there's something else. And you can deny it, you can pretend that it's not there, and a lot of people do that, hoping secretly that they'll figure it out or they'll realize or it's complicated. It's never really that complicated. But it sounds so much nicer, doesn't it? Oh, he's just afraid and it's complicated and he has all this shit going on. It's not complicated. He's not that into you. He doesn't want it. If he wanted it, he wouldn't be telling you all this fucking bullshit. He would uncomplicate it and he would just make his presence known and he would be there. That's how men are. They want to be there, they're there. They love you, they love you. And love isn't a word, it's an action. It's something that you do. And it doesn't matter how afraid you are. If you wanted it, you'd have it. You'd be there. And so it's never that complicated as people would like it to be. I just wasn't aware that I could have been anybody. I foolishly thought that it really was a different kind of connection. And I've thought that for 11 years now. Which is dumb, saying it out loud. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, looking back and like looking at the dynamic between him and all of his little flings and whatnot, it's just like, well, why would I be any different? I mean, honestly, I don't know why I thought I was. And again, I guess blinders, because I really did fall in love with who he was and who he is. Why, I have no idea, and I'm